Good morning, everyone, and thank you all for being here. My name is Lina, and I'm an International Relations and Business Management student at Queen Mary University of London. Before I begin, I want to acknowledge the fundamental importance of peace and security. Any discussion about Sudan's future must recognize that the safety and well-being of Sudanese people is our absolute priority. Our citizens must be secure in their homes before we can meaningfully pursue national rebranding initiatives. Today, I'll be exploring how soft power can play a crucial role in Sudan's transformation. We'll examine how this subtle but powerful form of influence can help rebuild our nation's global standing and create lasting, positive change for our future. Let me start by defining what soft power means. Unlike traditional forms of influence that rely on military and economic pressure, soft power is about winning people's hearts and minds through culture, values, and positive engagement. Think about your favorite international brands. They succeed not through force, but by creating genuine appeal and trust. Nations work the same way. When a country is admired for its culture, achievements, and values, it naturally attracts investment, tourism, and partnerships. By highlighting our rich heritage, innovative spirit, and cultural achievements, we can transform how the world sees us. This isn't just about image. It's about creating real opportunities for cooperation, development, and prosperity. When we're recognized for our strengths rather than defined by our challenges, we open new doors for meaningful international engagement. Today, I'll guide you through 3 key aspects of Sudan's transformation. First, we'll explore how fascinating the contrast between how Sudan is perceived internally and externally. Then we'll examine how we can leverage our rich history and vibrant culture to build soft power. Finally, I'll share practical ways that young people like ourselves can become powerful ambassadors for positive change in our daily lives. When I think of Sudan, I think of a home. Not just a place on a map, but the first place my soul has ever felt security. Our people are not merely my blood relatives. Every Sudanese is family, bound together by an unbreakable bond and thread of shared identity. What I see in our people transcends the superficial narrative of conflict. I see resilience. Our people are not victims. They are dreamers, innovators, and builders of tomorrow. Each Sudanese carries within them a unique story of triumph, talent, and determination. These stories deserve to be heard, not through the lens of tragedy, but through the prism of possibility and promise. This is why peace is not just a goal. It's the foundation upon which our people can finally showcase their true potential. When I speak of Sudan, I speak of an undiscovered treasure that whispers tales of ancient glory. Our pyramids stand as silent witnesses to our civilization's power. Sudan is indeed a hidden gem, but it's time we share its brilliance to the world. These images offer just a glimpse of Sudan's boundless treasure. A land where every corner holds untold wonders waiting to be discovered. I dream of a day when the world truly sees us, not just through the lens of headlines, when they witness the radiant spirit of our people and the timeless beauty of our landscapes. If only the world could catch even a fraction of what we see when we look at our beloved Sudan, they would understand why we hold such pride and hope in our hearts. I know, however, that is far from the case. To better understand external perceptions, I conducted in-depth interviews with a few of my friends, all of which are from different backgrounds and nationalities. One of them, actually, has been living in Sudan her whole life. Her perception of Sudan, it bridges the external perceptions and internal perceptions, and I think her opinion is very important. I think you're going to figure it out. I think you're going to figure out who it is within the first minute, maybe even less.
With everything that's going on right now,
The war, I've seen videos on Sudan, and it's it's really messy.
Hospitality, I think about the River Nile, sunsets, and like a land that bleeds but never breaks.
War.
Colors. Like your culture is very like colorful, like in terms of dresses and like the people.
Beauty and resilience.
You see all these clips about like homes being destroyed, and it's hard to get that image out of your head.
I think there's more negativity about Sudan in social media.
Recently, I've been hearing only negative news about Sudan, the war, everything that's happening. Every time we get positive news, something happens again.
Sudanese are like really friendly, happy and energetic people, generous, like they're very lovely. They like to help people out a lot, and it's very like homely vibe.
Describe Sudanese people as very loving. They're really friendly.
I was raised among them as an Egyptian person, and from what I've learned from them is to be patient, generous, and strong in the face of adversity. And despite everything that Sudanese people go through, there's always like a softness in the way they welcome others. What I like the most about Sudanese people is they have a sense of community that never fades, and they always carry both warmth and wisdom in the way they live, love, just interact together. Being surrounded by that kind of spirit throughout my life just taught me values that I'll carry forever.
I just know cotton.
No. I don't really hear of any tourist attractions or any places I would go to compared to other countries where there's specific places where you think, oh yeah, I want to go there. So I think they should have rebranding focused on tourists.
The natural landscapes and, for example, the deserts, the Nile, the Red Sea coast, and wildlife in general. And also focus on youth creators, entrepreneurs, and the Sudanese people doing big things in life. Like, I wish people could see Sudan from my eyes, especially as someone that's not Sudanese. Because apart from war, just see the people, how kind they are, how, the hospitality, everything about Sudan is actually beautiful. Sudan is not just war, destruction. There's so much more Sudan has to offer than what you see on the media.
Although we're nowhere near where I want to be, I'm glad I can do my part by teaching my friends what Sudanese people can do and are capable of. On a more happier note, though, a part of these interviews I found a little bit funny. When I asked my friends if they knew any historical attractions, Farida was a bit hesitant about admitting that Sudan had more pyramids. But we do. I think a few people need to remind themselves of that. But besides that, other interviews and answers, although were brief, highlight an important opportunity. Their limited knowledge of Sudan perfectly illustrates why our efforts to share our culture and heritage are so crucial. I'm delighted to say that today they've joined us, and I hope they enjoy this as much as we did. Let me present 3 transformative pillars for cultivating Sudan's soft power. First and foremost, we must establish a foundation of security and stability, not just for our own citizens, but for visitors who wish to explore our nation's treasures. Once this foundation is secure, we can invite the world to experience our breathtaking historical landmarks, natural wonders, from the ancient pyramids of Meroe and the pristine shores of the Red Sea. Second, we must amplify Sudan's artistic voice on the global stage. Our filmmakers have already proven their exceptional talent, with groundbreaking works earning international acclaim at prestigious film festivals, such as Goodbye Julia and You Will Die at 20. Sudan's creative spirit runs deep, manifesting in countless forms of artistic expression, from traditional music to dance to contemporary visual arts. Finally, and perhaps most crucially, we must empower our academic community. Sudan's scholars and researchers must take the lead to address our nation's challenges. Who better than to analyze our situations and propose solutions than those who understand the nuances of our society, the complexity of our history, and the aspirations of our people. By investing in local expertise and research capabilities, we ensure that Sudan's future is shaped by those who hold its best interests at heart. The time has come for Sudan to reclaim its narrative. Through these strategic initiatives, we can transform how the world sees us, and more importantly, how we see ourselves. This is not just about improving our image. It's about unleashing Sudan's full potential on the global stage. My fellow youth, we stand at a pivotal moment in Sudan's history. Our role is not just to witness change, but to be the architects of our nation's future. Each one of us carries within us the legacy of ancient civilizations and the promise of tomorrow. Today, I challenge you and myself to rise beyond mere observers. Our silence is not an option. Our story deserves to be told, not through the lens of conflict and hardship, but through the brilliant achievements of its people, the richness of its culture, and the unwavering spirit of its youth. Let us be the voices that echo across continents. Okay, before I conclude, I'd like to say a fun fact. The content on this slide is the same as the one my mom used on her slide when she was giving a presentation on how to rebuild Sudan after the war. I think this is not just evidence of generational dedication, but also of Prof. Allam's consistency to provide Sudanese people with a platform to share and propose their ideas and work together to build a future for Sudan. I'd also like to quote something he said in the beginning of this conference. He said that if we don't write our own narrative, someone else will do it for us. I hope all of you, by the end of this day, are reminded of the importance of us being proactive in our country's future. After all, الأرض لنا وإن شاء الله فليعيش سوداننا عالماً بين الأمم.